junior, 16-0 from Apple Valley, Minnesota.
Mark Hall won the national championship in 2017, runner-up last year, two-time All-American. And this is the match I was most looking forward to here tonight. These two very similarly built. Lydy a little bit bulkier up top, which means Hall's a little bit bulkier down low. Should be a great, great match.
Yeah, it's a good chance for Dylan Lydy to kind of check himself and see where he really stacks up against the cream of the crop in the nation, as Mark Hall has a long history of competing well and making it far in the postseason. And Dylan Lydy, a wrestler who's just continually, gradually gotten better over his years at Purdue as he tries to work his way towards the top.
These two saw each other in the second round of the NCAA championships last year. Hall with a technical fall, 21-3. Don't think Dylan Lydy hasn't thought about that a couple times this week.
I'm sure it was bulletin board material right after the loss, because he knew that this would be a matchup he would see again as they both continue to work at neutral. Lydy gets hold of the top as Coach Ursulin's trying to ask him to kind of twist those shoulders and keep control as Hall gets back to his feet, still with his head towards the mat. He's got one hand down, which kind of helps him keep his balance. He does a nice job keeping a wide base and getting back up and back to center.
Lydy had a nice underhook there, had Hall's head buried. Mark Hall did a nice job not giving anything up.
Lydy 3-1 in the Big Ten so far this season.
Hall a 5-3 win against Mickey Labriola against Nebraska last week. He's undefeated. He hasn't had a fall in 2 months, and we got a stall warning against Dylan Lydy.
Lydy has scored first in 14 of his matches so far this season, but his most points total has come in the third period in matches this season. So unlike a lot of the wrestlers we've seen so far for Purdue, the statistics show that as the match goes on, Dylan Lydy gets stronger.
He does. One thing, Lydy's style, he's a counterattack wrestler. He thrives when the other man is being the aggressor, and he can avoid and then counterattack.
See a shot there, the Purdue bench cheering on Dylan Lydy as they were really appreciative of that effort to kind of fight off a mini shot from Mark Hall as we approach 15 seconds left in the first period.
It's a classic heavyweight struggle. Both men kind of feeling each other out. Not a lot of offense here early.
It's important that you don't want to make a wrong move too early and put yourself behind the 8 ball with so much of the match ahead. And as the clock hits 0, we end the first period 0-0. The first time we've had a scoreless period so far tonight, as the decision goes to Mark Hall, and he elects to start down. So Lydy will be on top here, trying to maybe get some upper advantage and maybe try to get some riding time points. Hall looking to get out here early in the second period as the whistle blows, and Hall takes a minute to kind of grab himself. Very calm, cool, collective, and Lydy doesn't do much to struggle there.
He doesn't. Hall, I think, was waiting to react to whatever Lydy did, and Lydy did nothing. So Hall just stands up. 5 seconds riding time is all.
So the scouting report for Dylan Lydy must be, we have a better chance at neutral if you're a Purdue Boilermaker. So he's going to continue to fight here as he has now a hold of the upper, but Mark Hall does a great job keeping his head up to the sky as he goes for the trip. Lydy tries to roll through. Hall jumps on top and gets the 2 points on the takedown.
It was a nice duck under by Hall, and he followed through with it. Lydy tried something spectacular to get out of it. Hall stuck with him. We saw Ben Thornton do that earlier for Purdue. Mark Hall not fooled by it either, and he gets rewarded with a nice takedown.
Looked like a last-ditch effort by Dylan Lydy to maybe try to escape out of it after a nice move by Mark Hall to get the single-leg takedown, and now he's on top, and he's going to work on Dylan Lydy a little bit. Lydy to his seat and now up to his feet as he's trying to break the grasp. For a second there, it looked like maybe he had a chance to grab back for the leg of Mark Hall, but he elects to try to do it the old-fashioned way as he goes back down to his base, and he's going to try to work his way up once again.
Hall got a very strong tight waist in right now. Lydy gets back to his feet. 29 seconds of riding time.
So Lydy's on the board now with his first point of the match, 3-1 in favor of Hall after that takedown early in the second period.
Lydy deferred after the first period, so he'll have choice going into the third. You got to think he's probably going to take bottom. It's going to take a takedown to win this, but it might just take a takedown to win this. There's an underhook for Lydy.
Lydy comes in averaging 6 points per match, so he's well below that average at the moment. But like I said, most of his points have been scored in that third period, and he's setting himself up here to have a chance to maybe go for the upset shot in the third period to tie this one up if he's able to fight off a last-ditch effort here by Mark Hall.
Short time defense here by Lydy, and he's able to fend it off. 3-1, and Hall, a workmanlike effort so far, just 3 points. Not a man who's accustomed to being held down.
A big moment here for Dylan Lydy as he had a tough decision to make where he wanted to start. He's going to start down here in the third period, looking for a quick escape to keep the riding time below a minute. Right now it sits at 38 seconds and counting. Lydy needs to get up and get out in a hurry.
Hall stepped over. He's got his leg in now. Lydy in desperation mode to fend off the riding time, like you said, Matt, and Hall in good spot to go over a minute now.
A savvy move there by Mark Hall to use his legs to his advantage. Lydy this time gets up and out just as the clock hits 1. And, I mean, I looked up as soon as he stood up, and it was at 59.
It was at 59.
It could have went either way,
Absolutely.
And it goes against Dylan Lydy. So it sits exactly at 1 minute. Lydy's still down 3-2. So either way, he's going to need some points here to try to take the lead. So if he can get a takedown, he should be able to get that riding time under a minute.
Like I said, it would take a takedown to win. Mark Hall wanting nothing to do with it. He comes at it with a power double. Lydy rolls through it this time to good effect, and he's able to stay neutral.
Yeah, he used the momentum of Mark Hall against him as he's able to roll through and make Mark Hall keep going over the top. And that would have been very interesting if they had some more room to wrestle. Lydy might have had a chance to jump on top.
Yeah.
As now the almost sold-out crowd here in Holloway Gymnasium are cheering on Dylan Lydy and Mark Hall. Back and forth match so far, now approaching a minute to go in the third. Lydy needing a takedown to take the lead.
Looking for a single, low single. Hall sprawls, and Lydy working his way back to his base, trying to get back to a good neutral spot. Hall now with a single of his own. Lydy with a reshot. He's got an ankle, and Lydy needs to elevate his hips. There's the takedown for Hall.
And with 34 seconds remaining, Mark Hall gets the takedown to take a very impressive and needed 5-2 lead, as now that riding time continues to rack up. A very strong and impressive effort by Dylan Lydy in this match.
Now Hall looking for a turn.
And with just 15 seconds remaining, Mark Hall is looking like he's going to hold on here to get the win against Dylan Lydy. Definitely a different outcome than the major decision tech fall we saw last season to end in NCAA champions.
Nice defense there by Lydy. A 4-point turn there makes it a major decision. He does not give that up. So 6-2, as you'll see, the early takedown by Hall, and that is enough. A good battle, as you said, Matthew. Great point. That's a far cry from 21-3.
Sure is.
And I think that's something definitely for Dylan Lydy to build on. Mark Hall gets his win.